Hello ladies and gents, we've got another road test for you today. This time it is the Suzuki GSX S1000, let me get that right. This is basically, I think the other S means street or something. It's the old GSX 1000 engine put into a new street bike, street fighter style frame. First off, it looks amazing. This is the same colour blue as my bike. I love this type of bike, and I've been waiting for a few more to be made. This aggressive kind of street bike, street fighter looking type thing that's got the power that you'd expect from a bigger bike. Nice and compact, this one. Quite comfortable seating position. I'll get onto that a bit more in a bit. Upside down forks on this, which you'd expect with a bike this size. The ABS on this model is optional, but on the F model it's a standard, but the price is higher on that. There's probably a few more little extra gadgets. The dashboard itself, it's a fully digital one, even the rev counter and everything. Gear indicator and stuff like that. A few more trick things. There's 3 engine modes. I think one of them says rain. And then 2 upper ones, which they're more of a power limiter, and a traction control, which I had all the way up. I mean, I wasn't even going to mess around with anything like that on this road test. This is the most powerful bike I've ridden yet. Power wise, Suzuki are quoting 143.5 horsepower. I don't know if you get a half horsepower, but there you go. And the torque they're saying is 78 foot-pounds. Because they're saying they've retuned it, not detuned it. Personally, I can't say because I never rode the GSXR, but there's definitely a lot of low-end grunt, definitely. Even every gear. You get a nice rumble from the throttle. It wasn't, like a quiet breeze like some of the others that I've ridden. It was a real rumble. Unfortunately, the mic on the camera didn't work for this video, but I really gave it some revs when I was doing the walk around, and it was like popping, even with the standing exhaust. That may be something to do with what else they've done. It says they've got like a valve underneath the bike in the exhaust, roundabout on the catalytic converter. I suppose it works like the old X-Up in the old Yamahas. It's just a butterfly valve that, as the gases flow further and faster, it just opens and lets more noise through. As you've probably seen now, I've given it a little bit of welly, and it's very entertaining. Put it that way. It's 1000cc. You get what you expect from it, and it's just brilliant. There's a scoop on the seat. Like, the seat doesn't pitch you forward like a sports bike would, but it's like a gentle slope up just to keep your position where you are and stop your backside from sliding. You do notice the benefit that gives you. Now, handling wise, I didn't really get to put it through its paces on some demanding corners, because when I booked the ride, the only slot they had was between 4 and 5, so I couldn't go that far. A lot of traffic around. I couldn't really give it a thorough testing. But the roundabouts that I went round, they were okay. For the weight of the bike, it was it felt like it was washing away a little bit, but for the size of it, it's very compacted again, so it's a very short wheelbase. It does fine, you know what I mean? I mean, you can adjust a lot of things on it, so you can probably tailor it to what you want a lot better. And this is where probably the biggest downside I could have found to this bike. I mean, I didn't really get a lot of time to, like I say, to test it out properly, but the big thing that stuck out for me was the steering was very light, which is, it's good for the parts where I'm filtering, which you've seen on here already. But if you make a mistake, or like a bad change, or something abrupt with the bars, it absolutely snatches it from you, and it's quite worrying sometimes. So if you're not feeling comfortable with that, I would definitely say to consider a steering damper. And I told the guy that when I went back. I don't know if he seemed a bit surprised to hear that. I don't know, maybe it was just me. As with all new bikes now, it's quite new to me though. It's a fly-by-wire throttle. Suzuki are saying that this new clutch system that they've got is supposed to help the rider. I don't know if it's supposed to be fasting and then it's like a smoother, gentle release as you're releasing the clutch, because it's a cable clutch anyway. So I'm not quite sure how that works. But as I was sat at the lights using it, my hand was off the throttle, not touching it, and you just literally find the bite, and then the revs would rise slightly. I mean, I'm only talking 200 revs max, but it did it consistently every time. It wasn't something that I was doing, or the injection going up and down. It was every time with the clutch. So I'm guessing that's what that was. But on the whole, awesome bike, awesome, brilliant hooligan machine. I couldn't resist the temptation to open it up. I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to riding it after I'd booked the session with it. Maybe one other little downside I could say is probably you'd need like a little bikini screen or something, because there really isn't anything on the front of this. And obviously your obligatory horrible plastic fender on the back, which they've got to have. I'd get rid of that straight away. Now here's a painful part. The price on this bike, the one that I rode, one that's got ABS with it, it's $9,500. Personally, I'd probably never spend that on a bike anyway. So I don't know if I can give you advice on buying it. That's the price. Make of that what you will. The GSX S1000F, they start at 10 grand. But there's not really any extras that you can have with that. So your 10 grand's your 10 grand, but that's a hell of a lot of money to pay for what's essentially a toy, because I wouldn't want to commute on a brand new bike. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, final verdict on this is going to be 8 out of 10 on this one. Only thing, like I say, is the steering. The kind of not looseness but lightness that you get. It's a little bit too light, where you don't need it. It made filtering an absolute doddle. This is probably some of the best filtering I've ever done doing this. And I had a brilliant time on it. It's the seating position is so relaxed. It's great. You're not going to need to stop. You've got your GSX 1000 performance, and you can just go all day on it. You're not gonna need to stop only for a cup of tea. So, if you're in the market for something like that, go and look at it. Even if you can just find the dealers that are doing the demonstration bookings like I took. Because all I did was go into Suzuki looking at the GSR 750, and they said, "Oh, we've got this, coming round on a little tour. Did you want to have a go?" I said, "Yeah, fine." So just go and see if you can get one booked. These aren't even out till June yet either. So just go and have a little play like I did. So that's end of the review, really. Hopefully these are still entertaining, informative, all that kind of crap, and people are still enjoying them. So yeah, hopefully a few more coming soon. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.